Hey, everybody, it's Eric alongside Rod here, and we're delighted to have on Mady Sissoko. Mady is a 6'9", 240-pound junior, plays for Michigan State, and we're going to talk to him a little bit about basketball and about his charity he's got going on right now. Before we begin, I just want to remind you that if you want to check out the Final Fours on the schedule, please make sure you visit our website. You can find ways to interact with us on the forum, and you can find that at thefinalfoursontheschedule.com. So a couple of quick facts. Mady is not from the United States. He's originally from Mali, which is in West Africa. Its main language is French. He's from, is it Bafoulabe? Is that, did I even close to?
Bafoulabe.
Bafoulabe, which is sort of in the western part of Mali, near the Senegalese border, much closer to the equator than we are here in Michigan. And then interesting facts about Mali for those of us, Americans, we don't know much about the rest of the world. Mali is the famous city is Timbuktu, and you may not realize this, Mady, but oftentimes we say, if someone's going a long ways away, we say they're going to Timbuktu, like, he's all the way out in Timbuktu. And so, of course, that's a town in Mali. It's a famous city that was once part of one of the most powerful empires in the world in the 1400s. Mansa Musa was a famous world leader and a huge, powerful empire there in West Africa. And it's also the 8th largest country in Africa. But before we talk about that a little bit, congratulations on the victory last night. You guys got back in the winning streak road by beating Maryland. What was your impression about the game, and how did it go for you guys, do you think?
I think what impressed me, I think we come out very hot, and everybody was just kind of desperate to start the game. And the beginning of the first 10 minutes of the game, I think we played a Michigan State basketball, which was very important to us. And I think we overall, like the 30 minutes of that game, I think we played it very well. If you ask me, we got the second half, we kind of started a little bit slow, but we finally come back and start playing again. But it was very fun for us yesterday to finally win a game like that. And everybody played well, if you ask me. So it was fun.
How did you feel about your specific game? How did you feel like you did in the game?
I did defensively. I thought I did a lot of good stuff. And then, and the offensively, just kind of like a setting screen and get guys open a lot. So that was kind of like my role yesterday. Overall, I think I did a solid job. Definitely not my best game, but I did a solid job.
All right. So, hi, Mady. It's Rod. I'm Eric's partner on this. We wanted to turn to a little bit about your background now specifically and coming to the U.S. from Mali. You've been here in the U.S. between prep school in Utah and now your third year at MSU for quite a while. But I imagine you probably don't get to see or talk to your family very often these days, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So that's got to be a real challenge for you. How have you dealt with that? Are you able to ever FaceTime or talk on the phone, or how do you manage to stay in touch with your family?
First of all, you can't really FaceTime like back home, but my brother, who's in the military, he lives in Bamako, and so he's the one who has like a nice phone, and he can WhatsApp video me sometimes, and I can talk to my mom. But people in my village, there's no way I can FaceTime them because there's no service. So my guardian, Mike Clayton, he buy this kind of service, or every once in a while I just kind of call home and they say hi to everybody. So that phone call doesn't cost me anything. My guardian, he just bought like this service, so I can be able to talk to my family as long as I want. Yeah.
Gotcha. So obviously that's probably the hardest thing for you since you've been here is not having contact with your family and your friends, your loved ones. But other than that, what's been the hardest transition for you? And again, you've been here a while, so we know you're probably past a lot of this stuff, but when you first came, what was the most difficult thing for you to get used to in moving to the US? Was it the language, the food, the weather, something else?
It gotta be definitely the language, because when I first got here, I couldn't speak any English. The only three words I know are hi, how are you doing? That's the only two words I kind of know. So definitely language is the one. When I got here, it got me a little worried, because I didn't because I just kind of keep asking questions myself. People talking, how am I going to like speak to people? How am I going to communicate with them? But just going to prep school, White Academy, kind of helped me. The teacher helped me spend the extra time with me, and it kind of just learning English. It kind of come not very fast, but I was able by end of my first year here, I was able to start picking stuff up very quick.
Yeah, I mean, your English is really good. It reminds me, we have a foster son who's from Guatemala, and it was for same thing for him. You thought it's hopeless. He'll never learn English. And then just suddenly it kind of just comes. And now it's been about 4 or 5 years and he's pretty fluent. He understands most of what we're saying. It's pretty amazing, especially young minds like yours. I'd have much more trouble if I went to Mali trying to pull up what you did. I mean, you've only been playing basketball really organized, not very many years. And so since you've got East Lansing, where have you seen the biggest growth? I mean, in your game, and where do you see the next level? I mean, how do you think you're going to grow a lot more this year in basketball? And then what do you look for in the future for like the next coming years?
I think just being in Michigan State just kind of helped me, especially being under like the Hall of Fame coach and everything, all the stuff, and it has helped me to learn a game of the basketball every day. It's not not didn't pick up basketball until I grew up, until I didn't start playing basketball or like organized basketball until I really got into America and stuff, but. There's a lot of good players come through here. Just looking up them, and they go out there, just kind of do my job, what I'm told to do, and the stuff like that. It's just learning. So I'm excited my growth to here, and I can wait where next level can take me.
Now, obviously, this goes back a few years since you're in your junior year at Michigan State, but going back to when you were being recruited, it would be kind of interesting, I think, for a lot of our listeners to hear, because you didn't grow up in the US. So I assume you didn't have a lot of the same kind of ideas about different schools that kids who grow up in the US have, the tradition, et cetera. What was it about Michigan State that led you to want to come there?
Oh yeah, obviously when I moved to here, I didn't have any favorite college or dream college to go to. But once even I got here, once school started recruiting me, I just kind of remember this my first visit Michigan State. It just kind of fell in love with the like stuff is out like a history here, and then like older player who has been playing here before. I just kind of see their growth, and then obviously coach was recruiting me. He was very very like nice. He called me every single time, so it just kind of like helped me. Like I just kind of pray about it, and I think it just is like right here is just gonna be family for me here, because like people really care about each other here. And then once I took my second visit here, I was like, oh yeah, there's no doubt about it, I'm coming here. And it was just like exciting moment for me, because just history of school, and what they have built here, and they help a lot of players to go to get to go get to their dreams come true for them. So it just kind of helped me to make my decision to come here.
Which player did you bond with the best when you were on your recruiting trips?
I was Jaren. When I was recruiting Jaren, I was watching Jaren highlight a lot because actually my first ESPN game here, I played against Jaren in Geico National Tournament in New York, my freshman year. So kind of like to see him playing against him. He was senior at that time. I was freshman, and it just kind of following up with him, and it was just very also kind of helped me to make a decision like this to come here, Michigan State.
I think it feels like you're dedicating a lot of why you're here in the United States and at Michigan State to more than just your basketball. I mean, I think that you made that pretty apparent with your NIL. And I think we want to just talk about your foundation, if we could, the Mady Sissoko Foundation. What are you hoping to do with the foundation to help your hometown back in Mali?
Yeah, it's first of all, it just has been a blessing to have an opportunity to have an NIL stuff. And then because my dream always has, since I've been in America, my dream always has been to give back home. So, but have stuff like this NIL. So I just hope to give them, give them materials and the ideas and just kind of help them out of the dark side. Otherwise, just building school for the kid to go to school, have a different ideas, and then give them clean water. And there's a lot like they need, but the main thing I just start basic. The main thing I want to do is just build a like for school for the kid to go to school and to give them a clean water. So I think that there right there is a very good start for me, especially I'm not professional yet. I'm just just in the process, and through the process do stuff like this is very amazing to me.
So how did you end up choosing specifically wanting to build a school as opposed to maybe other things? What was it about that excited you?
What excited me because for me when I was there, I went to school. It's a little bit far away from my village, and then um, for myself, I kind of because I went through it. So for me, walking hour 30 minutes to go to school, and also
Wow.
come back, and then just start working the farm too, and it just kind of hit me right there. So I kind of said, no, everybody cannot do this. Go to school also and come back because school is a little far away, and they also come back and they just start working in the farm. They're gonna be very tired. They have most of them just quit school because it's a little too much for them. So the idea come to me and said, how about if we just build a school on the hometown, and the people just go to school and you don't have to worry about waking up so early to go to walk this far, and they also come back and they just go work in the farm. So have school in the village there is gonna save a lot of kids to going to school.
So
That's my
is this school just going to be for your home village, or are there going to be
I've,
any like
I've,
surrounding
I've
villages?
Absolutely, that's gonna be surrounding village. The villages are close to my village. It's pretty much it's not only for my village. It's for the people that are very close to my village, and that are not very far. They don't have to walk for 30 minutes to the hour 30 minutes to go to school. So they just if you kind of save them for hour walk, I think that would be great.
Do you have any idea how many students you think the school will be able to enroll to serve?
Right now I don't have any idea, but I always tell you this, I'm 100% sure it's gonna be all the classroom is gonna be pretty full.
Right. I would guess if it means you
Yeah,
don't have to walk an hour and a half. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Well, you know, one of our sponsors is Nudge Printing, and they're a print shop run by Gabe and Brittany. They're Michigan State alums, and they have out in Portland, Michigan. It's all Michigan based products, and they're very excited to help in this project as well. And so they're going to start working on t-shirts. And so at some point we'll advertise this once it has an opportunity on our website during the show. At nudgeprinting.com, you can go there and you'll be able to order shirts, and all the proceeds that they raise will go towards this foundation to help, because they want to do something to help a fellow Spartan. So that's really cool. And, you know, we have a really amazing fan base here, listeners. I mean, they're incredible. They've supported the show, and they're huge Spartan fans, and I know that they will help in this effort. So, you know, I would encourage you to go to Mady Sissoko Foundation.org. That's actually a smaller website name shorter one than ours, which is the Final Four is not on the schedule.com. So Mady Sissoko Foundation.org, and there'll be a link to it in the show notes. And you go there and you can contribute to this great cause. You know, I mean, I guess, how much are you looking to raise, and do you have a certain deadline that you're going to, because you want to get construction done before the school year starts at some point?
Yeah. Now I don't have a typical goal. It's just like, for me, as much we can raise is all gonna go to that school and the clean water for the village. So I don't have a typical numbers I wanna raise, but I just wanna raise as much I can, because at the end of the day, it's not gonna be waste for sure. So all of them is gonna be, going to the schools and stuff like that.
And then in the village, you know, you mentioned these kids they're going to school, but they're also working. I mean, I imagine most of the kids, it's not a real rich region, and so they're mostly agriculture farming, right? For most of the people in
Yeah.
these villages.
Yeah.
And so that's what the family does together as they farm. Is it livestock? What sort of things are you growing?
Yeah, growing. So my family, my dad like to grow corn, peanut, and millet. Not so much rice, but sometimes a little bit, because it depends on how much rain you get every single
Sure.
year. So yeah, sometimes a little bit rice. So my dad really is a big fan of the corn, so we do a lot of corns.
Do you miss farming? Would you
Yeah,
rather play
absolutely.
bad?
I mean here, I know I can give it a lot of much out of basketball, younger doing the farm right now. So, I will see where's my talent taking me. So
I'm expecting a little garden plot by the Red Cedar somewhere where you're growing some corn or something. You know, is there anything else you want to mention to Michigan State fans, and any other things that you want to do with this foundation?
Yeah, just like you said, is the great fan base, and they support the players so much. That's why how I pretty much appreciate them, because they are, like you said, they are big Michigan State fan. I just wanna let them know whatever they do for this, whatever they
He just disappeared.
Yeah.
We'll have to get him.
It looked like he was adjusting something.
Yeah. You know, in some ways it's amazing technology, right? We can even do videos at all.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if he comes back real quick, but
Yeah.
I mean, God, we're so close.
Yeah. Here he comes. There you are. You're back. Yeah. So, well, that's great. And I do agree with you. I think Michigan State fans will will rally around this and definitely support this cause. And I think there's a lot of support. And
Yeah,
and
I
go ahead.
like I just want to tell them whatever they do that to raise to help this foundation, then it's not gonna be waste, and they're gonna be saving a lot of kids back home. That's for sure. They're gonna help us. They're gonna help a lot of people get kids back home. That's for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you don't know this, and many of our listeners might know this, but my wife and I, we lost our middle son, Andy, when 4 years ago, in 2018, before the 2018 season, in a car accident. And so my wife, he would be this year, I'm certain he would be a freshman at Michigan State, and he would be in the end zone, or if he wasn't there, he'd be in the band. And
I'm so sorry to hear that.
oh, thank you. But we set aside money every year for philanthropy, for donating to causes that we think is important. And so we will match that. We will match the first $10,000 that's raised for your foundation. So we commit 10,000 to this. Yeah, you're welcome. I know that's what Andy would want. Especially, I mean, he loved Michigan State, and I know he'd love watching you play, because in some ways you play like him. He sort of has reckless a bit. He just like, he's not afraid of anything. And that's sort of the way you play, which is what I always am impressed, which I think the coaches have reined in a little bit, because you would try and go get things maybe you couldn't get to, like rebounds and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's how we played. And so anyway, that's what our family would like to do for the foundation. And I encourage other listeners and other Spartan fans to join in with that matching.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I guess we'll wrap it up there. And
I just took a quick look at the site, and it looks like there is a countdown for the fundraising drive. It says we're at 55 days, 3 hours, 2 minutes, and 1 second as I'm speaking. So it looks like we basically got about 2 months that they're setting as a target to really push this. So people shouldn't wait to contribute. They should go ahead, again, visit the website, MadySissokoFoundation.org, not .com, .org, and donate to a very, very worthy cause.
Yeah, we're very excited to see you guys, and hopefully this is the beginning of the run here. After this win against Maryland, go down to Columbus, beat those Buckeyes. Yeah. I'm always happy whenever we beat a team in Ohio, so you take those guys out. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I think we'll close, for those who listen to us on the podcast, we'll close actually with instead of the fight song, we're going to probably close with my son who sang, and so we'll close this song. It's which he did for Christmas. But until next time, the Final Four is not on the schedule. Go green.
Go white.
That's right. Excellent.
Thanks a lot.